There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive. Oprah. The simple act of asking what is my purpose on the internet has the power to elicit nearly 1 billion responses. That's a staggering commentary on the way so many people feel about who they are and how much they long for an existence that matters. On the surface, typing those 4 little words, what is my purpose, and pressing enter may seem trivial, but it's really a profound reflection of an intimate prayer rising from the deepest part of the heart. It's asking to be acknowledged. Initiating that search is a sign that the journey toward an elevated life filled with meaning and character is ready to begin. And here is the great news. Beyond the labyrinth of digital links, there is really just one being who holds the key to unlock the answers to all that you were meant to become. That miraculous soul has been speaking your entire life. Of course, I'm talking about you. Hey, Queens. Yeah, you. You know who you are. God, come on. Go ahead and put that crown on your head. Now tilt a little to the left. Now a little to the right. Perfect. Now let's get to work. Because we know you got big goals. And you got big dreams and not afraid to let them know. Why? Because you step into your purpose. You speak out on your faith. And you shift up in your journey. Because you a boss. Welcome to the podcast Drop the Expiring Act with your host Belly of QueenBayGoals.com, reminding you that you are a queen before anything else. It's your life and your goals. Make it royal. Alright, y'all. Go ahead and work that crown. Hello, queens, and welcome to another book review on the Drop the Expiring Act podcast. Now, you know that's what we do at the end of the month. We are doing our book review for the month of May, and this week we are talking about the book, The Path Made Clear by Oprah Winfrey, Discovering Your Life's Direction and Purpose. Now, I almost didn't do this book this week because I was listening to the audio version of the book, and I did not have the ebook copy where I could actually, make my highlights and go back for references. So I was like, you know what? Let me just hold off until I actually get the physical or the ebook in my Libby app, which is where I actually download books from the library. And look what happened. The night before I was supposed to do the episode, Libby sends me a ping at 11:30 p.m. The book is available, so I'm like, okay, I guess I was meant to do this book for this review. So this week we are talking about The Path Made Clear by Oprah Winfrey. Now, what I love about this book is that it actually has the dialogue between Oprah and her guests that she's interviewed. I think some of these were actually interviewed on her Super Soul Sundays. I'm not sure if that's where all the interviews came from, but I know some of them I've probably seen or heard before on her Super Soul Sundays. And I usually do not recommend audiobooks. Like I said, the reason why I was going to postpone this episode was because I didn't have the ebook where I can actually go and, make my bookmarks and highlight the text that I wanted to go back and reference. But I would recommend the audiobook for this particular book because if you listen to the audiobook, you're actually hearing it from the people who are speaking. They're actually speaking it in their own words and you're hearing their voices versus when, you're reading the ebook and you're going it's the ebook is kind of written like a script. Oprah says this, Brene Brown says this, Oprah says this, Brene Brown says this, the back and forth. But when you're actually listening to it as an audiobook, you're hearing them actually speaking and going back and forth, and it sounds more natural. So this is a book that I would actually recommend that you actually listen to the audiobook version. But if you're like me and you also want to see and go back and read any of the notes, you're the type of person that would actually get the physical copy as well, or the ebook, like what I am reading now in the ebook. So I highly recommend this book. I love it. And I love the way the chapters start from, it starts as a seed. That's the number 1 chapter. And then the roots, the whispers, the clouds, the map, the road, the climb, the give, the reward. And then the final chapter is home. So it kind of goes from a progression to you planting the seed of what it is that you want to be in life, and then the full circle to being home. And that home being, the place that you've created for yourself, the place that you love, the place that you actually can come back to at the end of the day. And it just feels great. So drop the aspiring act. I think this is perfect for anybody who is getting ready to drop their aspiring act, because it kind of gives you a group of people who have dropped their aspiring acts in their lives. People like Deepak Chopra and Brene Brown, LeBron James, who is our episode next week. Has an episode in here where she talks to LeBron James. Elizabeth Gilbert, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Ellen DeGeneres, Tracy Morgan, RuPaul Charles, Vice President Joe Biden. And then some of them, they are in several chapters depending on, the conversation that they were having in the chapter that it relates to. So I really love this book. I really think that you should get this book, whether you're going to read it or listen to the audiobook. I mentioned Libby, the app that I use. Libby is, you just put in your library card information. If you want to use a Libby app, you put in your library card, and it allows you to download books from your library, borrow the books, I think for about 21 days, and then you get to return the books. And it lets you put books on hold. So if something is not going to be available, you can actually put it on hold, and once it's available, it will let you know. So you should definitely try out the Libby app, because that's where I got the audiobook version and the ebook version. And I actually was not supposed to get this ebook version for another couple of weeks, because there were that many people who had reserved the book on hold that it was telling me like the book was coming in like 6 weeks. The ebook version was coming in 6 weeks, so I did not expect to get it that night. But what happens is, when sometimes people return the books early, it gives you the opportunity to borrow the book early if you are ready to read it. And if you're not ready to read it, it lets you to put it back on hold for another week. And then when the book is available again, it'll bring it back up and let you know that the book is available. So I love the the Libby app. But yes, The Path Made Clear by Oprah Winfrey. You should definitely put it on your reading list or your listening list. That's the book that I am recommending for this month. Now, we have one more episode in the Act Like, Think Like series next week, which is called Act Like Michael Jackson. Why am I always trying to say Michael Jackson? Act Like Michael Jordan, Think Like LeBron James. So that's our final episode in the Act Like, Think Like series, and that will be on schedule next Wednesday. I'll finish up this episode by finishing the rest of the introduction from the beginning of the book, The Path Made Clear. I believe every one of us is born with a purpose. No matter who you are, what you do, or how far you think you have to go, you have been tapped by a force greater than yourself to step in to your God-given calling. This goes far beyond what you do to earn your living. I'm talking about a supreme moment of destiny, the reason you are here on earth. Each one of us has an essential role in the whole of humanity. All you have to do is follow your path to answer the call. In the words of the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. My hope with The Path Made Clear is to offer the wisdom of experience from the visionaries, artists, teachers, and trailblazers who have walked this road before you and who have shared their inspiration and lessons with me. The common thread among them? They have discovered that in this world, there is no real doing without first being. Within these pages, you will find a guide to activating every layer of the miracle that makes you uniquely you and applying it to the life you envision. Committing to a life of purpose takes courage. There was a time in my own life when I felt torn between who the world was telling me I should be and what I felt to be the truth of myself. Today, I know for sure what I'm here to do. That's because I started listening to my instincts and paying attention to the decisions I made each and every day. If you're at a crossroads in your career or relationships, if you're struggling with finances, with addiction, or to take control of your health, the journey to lasting change begins with defining what matters most to you. All of us have a limited amount of years here on earth. What do you want to do with yours? How do you want to spend your precious, ever-unfolding future? There's no need to waste another day wondering if there's more to life. There is, and it's yours for the finding when you're ready. Oprah, The Path Made Clear. You have been listening to another episode of Drop the Aspiring Act. If you're looking for more information of this podcast and other episodes, please visit queenbaygoals.com.